There's that music. Hello, everybody. This is Claude Diamond. I want to speak to you today about one of my best kept secrets, the success secret of conversational selling. Let's talk about that. Let's end the music here right now. Okay. One of the things that I found that you need to be successful is, and I think we've lost this skill. We think we can just throw a lot of money at a lot of leads, read a script, and someone's going to respond to that. Okay. All you're going to get with a lot of that is frustration. I run a very successful business. My business makes money every day. I have no employees. Everything I do is subcontracted out. I don't want to deal with employee issues, especially right now. I have a real estate investment business. I have an informational products business. I have a consulting, coaching, and mentoring business. I market the whole thing through social media like I'm doing right now. But the secret of my success, all those other things are important. But if you really want to be successful and you want to hit the ground running and go to the bank today, you have to learn how to be superb in conversational selling. I was talking to one of my students today during a training session. I mentor people. I do group training Monday and Wednesdays. I do private training with my students in over 21 different countries. I have hundreds of students. I do it one-on-one, and I love doing it. And I do it personally. Okay. And one of my students said, Claude, I'm a shy person. My company wants me to read a script. How do I do what you're doing, man? How do I learn that? Well, truth be told, and I used to be a pretty shy fellow. Okay. I always sat in the back of the room, never raised my hand. I was not the shiny object. Okay. And the thing about it is how do you learn how to be engaging, charismatic? How do you start conversations with people, with your prospects? And so you get away from those horrible scripts. Scripts suck. Let me be plain English here. Scripts are horrible. You utilize scripts, you're going to get 99% rejection. You have to learn how to engage somebody in a successful conversation. When you have a prospect, instead of just going into the slideshow and everything, you have to learn how to ask open and closed-ended questions. You have to use the psychology of persuasion. This is one of the reasons I developed the gut sales method. Great, untraditional, unorthodox techniques of sales success. How do I start a conversation with people? I had another student and she said, Claude, how do I practice this? I said, are you going out today? She said, yeah, I'm going shopping. I said, where are you going? She said, I'm going to the supermarket, Safeway or something like that. And I said, start a conversation. Ask the person in front of you or behind you if they like, you see they have Captain Crunch in their shopping basket. Ask them, how do they like it? Is it nutritious? No, it's not. But start engaging people by learning how to ask questions. Get them involved. Make them feel like you're interested in them, like you care about them. I always use the doctor analogy. What does your doctor do? Or hopefully your attorney, when you go speak to somebody, or your professional, or your accountant, what do? They ask you questions. What's the problem? What's the issue? Where does it hurt? You don't mind them asking those questions if you have a pain or a problem or some issue that's stressing you out. When you're selling a product or service or real estate or network marketing or car sales, whatever you're in, you want to ask the obvious questions to people, these open-ended questions, and get them talking, get them engaging. And you can prepare this, you can practice this. You learn a system, you don't memorize scripts. Okay, reading a script is like saying to yourself, gee, all people are the same. They all have the same problems. They all have the same budget. They all have the same time frame. They all have the same authority to make decisions. No, I've built up a really successful business, a very successful. I am debt-free, mortgage-free, retirement plan, great health care, all because, and no employees. Okay, good computer, good Wi-Fi. I live in different parts of the country, different times of the year. It's only because I learned one thing from my mentor: how to give good phone and how to converse with people. We have lost this skill. We have lost the ability. Ask yourself this: can you spontaneously walk into an elevator and start talking with somebody, or somebody on the supermarket line, much less your prospects or anybody else? When we deal with our prospects, we either go to the script or we give a long, boring presentation, and we don't really qualify. We don't really ask the right questions the right way. We want the prospects speaking. We want them engaging with us. We want them to like us, trust us. We want them to believe that we respect their time, knowledge, and energy. We want to engage them so we can find out what are their needs, what are their pains or problems. Gee, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, why are we talking today? What's your biggest challenge? What is your biggest pain or problem? What would you like to gain from this conversation from me today? If we could find a reasonable way to solve your problem that meets with your budget in a timely manner, do you have the authority to make a decision today? Or would you rather just say no to me right now? Would you do me a favor at the end of this conversation? I'll answer all your questions. Would you do me one favor, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect? Would you please fire me? You don't tell me to call you in 2 weeks, or you'll think about it. I don't have the time for that. And you probably just want to say no anyway. So could you make me that one little promise? And I'll ask you a few questions. You ask me a few questions, and I'll try to give you some solutions, some ideas to help you solve your problem, whatever it may be. Boom. That is an agenda. It is an integral part of my gut sales method. Once I learn this system, and my whole system is about learning how to ask questions, open and closed-ended, how to converse with people comfortably, confidently. And do I close everybody? Of course not. But you know what? If I have these comfortable conversations, these stimulating exchange of ideas with people all day long, and I challenge myself to speak to at least 5 new people every day, 5 new prospects, 5 follow-ups from maybe 30 days to a year ago. I'll follow up with people. I'll do cold calls too, but I love warm calls. Who doesn't? Because they're much easier and a lot less rejection. The thing about it is, can I converse with people spontaneously? Know what to say? You ever get that deer in the headlights effect? Oh God, what am I going to say next? Oh, they asked me this question. You learn this. I practice with my students. I mentor students, 21 different countries. I have hundreds of students. And basically what we do is we learn the psychology of persuasion and influence through the gut sales method. 3 little steps: agenda, qualification, commitment to close. We learn stroking, nurturing, empathy, redirection. We learn all these wonderful things. And when we can engage people, and nobody's teaching this, all your gurus, all your seminars, all your webinars and everything, they give you all this motivation. Oh, John and Mary got rich and we're so smart and we're going to teach you how to do this and that and everything. They teach you everything about the product, the service, and they give you all that tons of motivation, but they won't share with you how to sell. How do you converse with somebody, and how do you feel great about yourself every day? I love sales. I used to hate it because sales to me was just about embarrassing myself. The prospect would overpower me, embarrass me, pick my brain, and then be dismissive of me. Oh, well, thanks for the information. We'll call you some other time. Bye. Meanwhile, I drove hours in traffic. I spent a lot of money to get the lead. And then I get all this rejection. You cannot survive. You cannot succeed if you do not have a sales success method where you can converse with people spontaneously. If you cannot improvise, if you cannot converse with someone and make them like and trust you, you're doomed to fail. This is my secret sauce. I built up a really successful business because I speak to a handful of people every day. And I have so much fun with it. Do I close everybody? Of course not. But the thing about it is, if I'm having these productive exchange of ideas with people and I'm the authority figure in those conversations, guess what? I can make the next phone call and the one after that. If you're sitting around sending emails and texting and waiting for your virtual assistant to schedule appointments with you, this is subjective. You can disagree with me. You got a chat box there. Put your questions or whatever in. I'll tell you right now, you're doomed to fail. I only do one thing. I do it right. I keep my business real small. I keep my overhead very low, and my profits are through the roof because I talk to people. The secret of conversation, of conversational selling. Nobody is teaching it out there. They're just giving you a lot of motivation. They're giving you a lot of strategies and facts and things like that. It can be real boring sometimes. I role play with my students all the time. Mondays, Wednesdays, private calls. We always role play, and we apply the psychology of the gut sales method, the stroking, the nurturing, the empathy, the redirection, all the different things that if you've read any of my books. By the way, if you haven't read any of my gut sales book, they're at claudediamond.com. I also have a free consultation you can schedule with me right on my webpage, claudediamond.com. Pick my brain, ask me a bunch of questions. I'll record it for you. And you've got to learn what I've learned. Okay. Because I've been in business all my life, and it was a struggle. And there was times when I didn't have two nickels to rub together, and I met my mentor. My mentor was a multimillionaire genius salesperson. I said, how did you do that? And he was just so natural. He was one of those natural salespeople, and he was so charismatic. And I had to figure out, I've studied psychology, psychologists, hypnotists, Dr. Milton Erickson, the father of conversational hypnosis. Can you hypnotize somebody, not put them to sleep or turn them into a chicken, but can you converse with somebody and put ideas, paintings in their head? You can using Gut 6.0. You can by utilizing the five senses: sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing. You can paint by telling stories, by learning how to get them to like and trust you. Can you go to any supermarket? Can you go to Starbucks and start a conversation with someone like that? That's what Guts teaches you to do. Not because you want to talk to strangers all day long, but when you get that valuable, how valuable is your prospects? When you get a prospect, do you want to read a script and then ask for the order 5 times? They're still teaching that shit. Okay. No, you want to get that person to say, this salesperson has something of value. I like this person. I need their product. I need their service. I want to buy their house. I want to do real estate with them because I like this and trust this person. Can you create that image? What are people saying about you when you're on the phone or when you get off the phone? Did they forget you before they even shut off their phone? Maybe they did. You've got to change that. You've got to take responsibility for the environment and the way you sell all day long. Conversational selling is amazing, because even if you don't make a sale, you feel so good about yourself, you can go on to the next call and the next call. What happens to most of you guys out there? You go to your gurus, you go to your different seminars, you read all the scripts, you set up all the stuff, then you spend more money and more money and more money. And then when it comes down to it, what really happens? You get that rejection. You're totally unprepared for their questions, for the stalls, the objections, and everything. Let's see. Tom Brooks, my friend. Claude always has a great message. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. Tom's in LinkedIn right now. We're right now broadcasting. We're using a little application called StreamYard, and we're broadcasting on Twitch and LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, all at the same time, because I want to get this message across to you guys. No matter how hard you work, how many different books and seminars you go to, how much money you're spending on leads, can you communicate to another person to want to make a commitment to do business with you today? I have closed people. This sounds like bragging. It's not. It's the truth. Take my word. Take your Uncle Claude's word for it. I've closed people on real estate, on my mentoring program, product sales, consulting. I've closed people in one phone call. I do it quite often, sometimes 2 in follow-up. Usually within the same 24-hour period, never 3. It's because you sound different than your competition. It's a lot. There's too much insanity in the training that's going out there. Okay. They're teaching. You're doing the same thing over and over again. You're spending money on leads. You're paying someone to call those leads, set up appointments for you. And you're going through thousands of dollars, thousands of hours, and you're getting tired and frustrated and broke. I'm a demotivational speaker. I know. The thing about it is, could you just have a few phone calls every day? 3, 4, 5 people a day, preset warm appointments, because that's what the gut sales method is all about. Just a couple really good appointments every day, and go to the back and get people to say yes much more often. Put the forces of the universe in your favor. Get people to want to speak with you. Qualify them while you're speaking with. You don't want to be 45 minutes on the phone with someone who has no money, who has no need for your product or service. So you can qualify them up front, usually in the first 180 seconds. I even give my students a little timer here. Okay, because if you can qualify people quickly and up front, identify their problem, their pain, just like a doctor would is examining you. Okay, what does that doctor say? Where does it hurt? When did it start hurting? Did it hurt your mother? Do you have a family history of this? What are you doing for it? What medication are you taking? You can ask these questions of somebody. So rather than going yak, 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 and giving that long-winded presentation, you get the prospect interactive. You get the prospect giving it to you on a silver platter, what their needs are, what their budget is, how they make decisions, how timely are those decisions, do they want to take an action right now? Imagine you know all this, and the prospect just gives it to you because you understand successful conversational selling. Everything changes. You cannot believe. The best part about it is your confidence soars. It just gets, and I don't mean you turn into a braggart or something like that, but you can pick up the phone, you can talk to strangers, and you get this through practice. I practice with my students all the time. They study my system. I have videos and books and things on my webpage, claudediamond.com, and then we just practice a lot. And then when they make the real phone calls, it's so much easier, and it gets better and better every time they do it, because now they're prepared mentally. They understand the empathy. What's that person feeling? They understand the psychology, the compelling psychology of how to influence somebody, how to get them to think the way you're thinking, how to get them to feel like you're a trustworthy and decent person, and not just someone who wants to put your hand on their wallet. Okay, yeah, there's nothing to be ashamed of making a great living. I love the financial freedom my family has. We're debt-free, mortgage-free. I love that. And it came from one thing. And whether you never contact me, we never do business. Here's the God's honest truth as I know it. You've got to learn the secret of conversational selling. You've got to learn to get other people to listen to you, to share information and not hold their cards close to their chest. You've got to get people to want to go to you and say, hey, this is my problem. I'm reluctant on the phone. I'm not comfortable. I need to make more money. The phone is like a cactus to me. You can fix this, because I'm the former world's worst salesman. I hated sales. Sales to me was like, oh my God, this person is just going to pick my brain and then throw me out of the office and everything. I usually bailed anyway. I'm on it. Once I learned sales from my mentor and I practiced it, I got better and better. And all of a sudden, the world was opening up to me. I was closing people. And even the ones I didn't close, I still felt good about myself. How important is your ego, your confidence in running a business? Your mom said, don't talk to strangers. And, in the big bad world, you better talk to strangers all day long. Especially, I know a lot of you are in real estate. You're doing all that busy work. You're running around doing all that stuff instead of the one thing that can make you money today. You got this remote control device to the universe, but you're using it the wrong way. You're not communicating personally, direct selling with the person who can make a commitment, sign a contract, give you a check, a credit card, a wire transfer, a MasterCard right now, because they believe in you. They trust you. They like you. You don't sound like your boring competition. And your competition is boring, and they don't have any of the skill sets that you can have with a gut sales method. So this is what I want. This was my message. I just wanted to share this with you guys. Nobody deserves success more than you. You guys are working so hard. You're spending so much darn money, but you've got to be superb in your powers of persuasion. You've got to take the psychology of human behavior together with some improvisational thespian skills, acting, and you've got to put it together in a system with a lot of practice and money. You will just be attracting prospects. You will be closing. You'll be making money every day. This is the $1 million skill, the secret of conversational selling, learning how to improvise, how to speak to people spontaneously. Okay, showing an interest in someone, asking questions, and understanding how they think and feel. It'll make you free the rest of your life. My name is Claude Diamond. I do answer my own phone, 970-281-5151, or go to my webpage. I got a free book there. I got a free consultation. Learn conversational selling. Learn gut selling. And you'll see everything change, because, as I always say at the end of every one of my videos on YouTube, no one deserves success more than you good people. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.